Alright, welcome back. One more Xbox 360 video, final one for the time being. Um, in the last one, the teardown and cleaning video of the 360, I mentioned that the power brick, or AC adapter, as it's called on this box here, had given me the red LED of doom. So I needed to order a new power brick for the console. Ordered this one off Amazon, and here in just a little bit we'll check out the page listing for it. The reviews are not all super positive, mostly positive, but not super positive. And I think that comes in hand to some extent with anything that is not OEM, original manufacturer for the product itself. Like you replace a power brick and comes out of China or wherever, and it's not actually made specifically for the, well, it's made for the console, but it's not made by the original manufacturers. And it sort of becomes into this take it with a grain of salt sort of situation. Is like, can you find an original power supply that you know is guaranteed to work? Like maybe you've got a local brick and mortar that sells used ones. I'm pretty for sure that my local brick and mortar actually sells these power supplies exactly like this. I know he carries other old school products. So finding an actual original manufacturer power supply unit could be something else. But another issue that I also had was worry about for a long time whether or not the power supply would work. And I've come to conclude, as it says here, it's compatible with 203 watt, 175 watt, or 150 watt systems. And I think it works sort of like you would do for a computer power supply unit, in that as long as you have extra wattage, you should be fine. And we'll check it out here in just a minute as well. The power brick that I originally had with the 360, which I did get used, but so it might have not been original to the console, was 150 watts. So I've jumped up to 203, and if it works the same as a computer, it's sort of like over-speccing, and it should be fine. But that, again, comes with a grain of salt, as some of the reviews here say that the power supply fails after a certain amount of time, or they've had issues with them. I think it depends on the product. You know, everything can eventually have a faulty manufactured one. You know, you are buying a third-party product. It's not guaranteed to have the same level of quality. And I sadly don't have any way to test to see that the specs as listed are accurate. So now we're going to take a look at the console and see what it says about its required inputs. I assume that's what that's supposed to be labeled here. It's 12 volts DC at 12.1 amps with a 5 volt standby. And the power supply that I had with it, which we'll see in just another moment, is this one. This is the one that I had with it, and it came used, so I don't know if it was actually originally packaged with the 360 from Microsoft or not, but it is a Microsoft power supply. And it is 150 watts, 12 volts, 12.1 amps with the same 5 volt standby. So I've just left it up long enough, hopefully, that you can read all of that for yourself. And you can see that it is manufactured by Microsoft because they actually say Microsoft on it. On the old school one, which we'll take a look at here in just a second, it does not say Microsoft anywhere. I'm sure that's for copyright reasons and stuff. Okay, here is the old school, the replacement brick that I have purchased from Amazon. Get it into frame, and I'll wind up having to turn off the flashlight on my phone because it was getting a really bad glare on this metallic sticker. futz with that for a moment. Okay, as we can see, this is a 203 watt output. That's what's labeled, that's what it says on the website. 12 volts, 16.5 amps, and a 5 volt standby. So again, I take that as long as what is listed here, it should work like overspecking a power supply unit for a PC. Since it does more wattage and has more amps and everything, it's more than capable of powering the 150 watt console that I seem to have. It is unfortunate that it doesn't say that it doesn't say the wattage required on the back of the console, which would make it a lot easier for my brain to comprehend anyway. Not an electrician or anything, I'm just a hobbyist, I guess would be the best way to say that. So as you can see, it does not say that, but it does say 12.1 amps, and I'm sure there's a conversion for the 12.1 and 16.5 amps into wattage, but I don't know it. So again, can't be super informative, although I'm trying to put as much information here as I can. And take another look at the third-party power supply really quick, and then power the console on. There's one issue left I have here, and I talk about that in the controller video, I believe, but the battery pack on the console, or the battery pack on the controller, is disintegrating from age, I suppose, or someone spilt something on it at some point or something. I'm not entirely sure. I know the controller was rather filthy when I first got it. When the controller is vibrating during gameplay, it would cause the controller to turn off, because if it's not just set in there just right, the battery pack will disconnect. So that would be something that I'll probably get, and I probably won't make a video about just buying a new battery compartment. I don't see any purpose in that. It's just something to make note of. But I've recorded a little bit of gameplay. Make sure that everyone gets to see that the 360 does work. It does live. And my camera does not like to focus. Kind of goes in and out here for a moment, trying to figure out what it wants to see. Cut to the gameplay, and yeah, we'll let it go from there. And I'll meet you back at the end of the video.
Achieved with CryEngine.
was in Spain for a time in '38, and there was France.
France? Come on, Hawkins, we haven't got all day. Let's go. This way. Voices from the underground, right?
You went through my things? I'm just jotting down some thoughts, observations, really.
Oh, words can be used as a sword that cuts both ways. Mind you remember that in your observations.
This is my mother's homeland. I'm mindful of that every moment I'm here.
That's good.
So, played a little bit of Enemy Front, a game that exists and is not backwards compatible on the 360. Anyway, it's an alright game. I actually have never finished it. It's one of those. It's on the backlog, you know. Yeah, I wish I could say with more confidence exactly what this power supply unit is capable of. I just know that so far it seems like it's going to work fine, and it should serve its purpose. I would run it through some extensive tests and such. Again, I don't really have any equipment to do anything like that, and I don't really want to tear down a power supply, which is why I bought a third-party replacement to begin with. That's pretty much it for this video. I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope this was somewhat informative in some way, in that it seems like these power supply units do work, these third-party ones. Remember to be safe and be good, and hope to catch you in the next video.